What is up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. Let's get into this, guys. About to pop and open the tea. Cheers to everybody out there. You guys surviving. It's a rough day today. It's a rough day out there today, guys. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. And cheers. Salud. All right. Whew. All right, guys, let's jump right into this. So welcome, guys. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Let's jump right into this. So right now, Bitcoin is absolutely taking a crap right now. What the hell is going on? We're going to cover some stories. Try to keep it bullish, right? We got to stay positive during these times, guys. We're going to be all right. You know, we go through this crap. It's playing with your emotions, and I'm telling you, it's even getting to me a little bit, right? Because some of my portfolio, look at Bitcoin right now. Oh my gosh, look at Bitcoin. This isn't the crypto FUD effect right here. Holy crap! So Bitcoin right now dropped down to about 60,300 as we are going live. What is going on, guys? Let's find out. Like I said, we are going to cover some positive things that are going on in the market, particularly for Solana. You know, it's just one of those times right now where it just looks like we were positively moving up, you know, this weekend, coming out of this weekend, going into Monday. And if you guys remember, during my members only stream, we did cover it, and I said, guys, everything's looking decent right now. Things are looking good. We should be getting into a good week. And literally the next day, it's pretty much where we topped out right here at around the 65.1. And since then, obviously, you've seen this massive downward move. I was so confident that we were going to move up this week that I actually opened up a long somewhere around this area when we had dropped down to like 63, low 63, and got my ass handed to. Put it like that yesterday. Literally, I could have jumped out. I jumped in when we were around this area, and I could have jumped out with some like 20-30% gains, right? And I was like, no, I'm gonna leave it. It looks like we're gonna be this is setting up great. And then literally right after I said that to myself, we started coming down. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna, you know, I was like, I'm in it, right? I'm not even gonna, you know, jump out of the trade or take a loss or anything like that. Well, got completely liquidated on that move. So it is what it is. You know, I kind of determined for right now. Usually I'm pretty good with you know, with the what am I saying? With all the excuse me, my mind's all thrown out of here. I'm usually good with leverage trading, right? Conservative, usually jump in really good, jump out. You know, and I was telling myself to jump out when I was up that 20-30%. I was up, it was probably like 30 or 40% at a time. You know, and I was like, I'm going to leave it be. Should have listened to myself, and I didn't. So it is what it is. Lesson learned for right now. I'm staying out of leverage trading. Right? You guys know how it is. I'm staying out of leverage trading in a traditional market, and I mean like when we're kind of normally either we know we're moving up or moving down kind of thing. It's not so, you know, as long as you don't go crazy on your leverage, you know, usually you can at least stick it out and you'll be okay for the most part, right? But in these times, I mean, look at this. Zooming out since we've made all-time highs for Bitcoin particularly, you can see, look at these swings. And I know it seems to be, oh, that should be easy, right? To catch one of these tops, short it, catch the bottom and long. It hasn't been, guys. It hasn't been. I've done really well on a lot of trades as far as leverage trading particularly, but also, and as of recent, on a lot of these moves, I have actually either jumped out, you know, because I was like, you know, I jumped in and I was like, you know what? I'm taking that 5% gain. I'm getting out. This time I didn't, and obviously, like I said, I learned my lesson, and it is to stay away from leverage trading for right now. I'm only going to be buying the dips long term, letting it be, staying away from freaking leverage trading, guys, for right now, because I'm sure we're probably going to run across an article about longs getting liquidated. It's this guy right here. This guy right here got liquidated out of his long. So, Jasmy, what's going on, guys? What's going on? So, like I said, right now, Bitcoin is sitting around 60,400. We did just drop down to about 59,008. And then we basically bounced so far. I don't think this is the end of it, guys. Usually when Bitcoin gets like this and it starts showing you its cars, right? That it wants to come down. It's usually a few days, a few weeks kind of ordeal. This isn't one of those small giga drops where we see something crazy happening in the market. we see a fast flash crash, and then we V-shape recover. This right here looks like we have been steadily selling off, and we're seeing a big sell-off as we speak. So we'll have to see how it works for tonight with the Asian markets. We thought that the Asian markets yesterday were going to maybe come out and come save the day. They did not. They piled on. And they probably were like, we're going to short this market. And that's exactly what it looks like it's been happening. So shout out to anybody that's shorting right now, right? This tea's hitting a little better today after that freaking leverage trade that I had. Solana right now, I swear I'm not going to keep talking about the leverage trading. I'm going to move on. Solana right now dropped down to about 147. A couple of things I do want to point out, though, for Solana and Bitcoin, and really for a lot of projects right now. Remember, we were talking about how we broke above our 200-day. Things were looking great. We were going to wait and to see if we were going to find some support above the 200-day. You can see, obviously, for Bitcoin broke below its 200. Solana, we're zoomed in right now on the 30-minute chart, broke below its 200-day as well. So things, I'm going to be honest with you guys, are not looking the best. You can see, obviously, Solana came up, and we were talking about this when it happened a few days ago. Came up, hit its head around the 162, tested it multiple times, got rejected. And you can see, obviously, the downward move that we're having right now. So where's the next spot for some support for Solana particularly? If we are going to break down furthermore, we're probably seeing some support levels, most likely at around that 141 and then also the 137. You can see both these areas were spots for some support previously. For Bitcoin, support level, next solid support level, if we are going to come down, is going to be around that 59.6. is where that next support level is going to be. We almost already tapped it at around 59.9. So curious to see what tonight's going to bring. Now, we do have the GDP growth rate dropping, the numbers GDP on the 29th, which is going to be Thursday. I'm wondering if this is playing in to why we're seeing somewhat of a sell-off. Right now, we're forecast to have a higher GDP from our previous. Previous was 1.4. The forecast is to be 2.8, which means what they're claiming is that the economy doubled since the last quarter. A little hard to believe, given everything we see around with the economy. I'm always telling you guys, I follow it. I don't know if you guys do, about all the big corporations, big companies that are still doing layoffs to this day, right? Those are big signs that the economy is not doing the best, right? Unemployment is starting to get up there. It's still relatively low compared to some really spikes that we've had in history. But I mean, 4.3%, it's going to get to a certain level where if they don't grasp the economy and unemployment, it's going to get out of control, right? And I think Jerome Powell is seeing this on the last time they came out at Jackson's Hole. You can see that he was focusing on unemployment, because I was telling you guys, I think that the data that they're looking at and the data that they're presenting is not the same. They're most likely looking at data where we're seeing unemployment probably around 5+%. But what we're seeing is some skewed up unemployment that they're probably going to revise, right? Right now, we're looking at 4.3. Like I said, most likely it's probably higher, around that 5% or more right now. So once unemployment starts to spiral out of control, that's when you're going to see this economy really start taking a tank. And you're like, well, what the hell does that have to do with crypto? It has a lot to do with crypto. Macro, the risk on assets, when you start seeing a recession sign or anything like that popping up, a lot of times you'll see big investors hopping out of the market, wanting to sit on the sideline. So very, very, we're going to have to keep an eye on this stuff, guys, because, we're not out of it. And if you guys remember what I was saying when we saw our last big drop for Bitcoin, remember when we were down here, I had called this bounce right here, and I had sold off on all my assets besides our beloved NFK, right? I had sold off on anything that was in our traditional market, kept our NFK, no FUD koala token. Obviously, that's going with me in the casket. But what I'm getting to is, I told you guys I was selling off, I sold off, and then obviously we saw this big drop. I could see the writing on the wall, right? Didn't necessarily know that what was going to happen with Japan and all that good stuff whenever we saw that, about a month ago. We just could see the charts were pointing towards the downside or wanting to start breaking towards lower levels. And when we bounced, and I told you guys, just 24 hours later, when Japan, all the smoke cleared and the markets were starting to come back up, I said, guys, listen, I'm glad that we're rebounding, but everything that caused this drop is still around. It's still here. It's basically getting brushed under the rug, right? And we're going to have to face the music eventually, right? So, and I'm not saying that that's happening right now, but you can see as we're looking at this chart for Bitcoin, you can see the downward trend, the bounce, a very big drop right here. This was the big Japan and all that good stuff that drop. Then you can see a small bounce. We're making lower highs, guys. Lower highs. Since we have made all-time highs with Bitcoin, we have steadily been making lower highs, right? Now, I do see a lot of other YouTubers out there, and I tip my hat. They're really trying to just spread hopium out there, right? Spread hopium and try to keep everything at bay. But I'm going to tell you guys, to be honest, things just don't look good right now. They don't look good. And I'm not just turning bearish again just because we're having a rough few days. No, I'm turning bearish because I've been telling you guys, we have been making lower highs for right now, right? I don't think that we've seen a big enough drop where it's going to spook out the market and then we can see that big rebound that we normally see during a bull market, right? Now, don't get confused thinking that I'm thinking that we're done, right? I'm just thinking that there is some short-term pain that we still have to get through, right? We'll see how this plays out. I'm not going to turn into the big crypt bear or anything like that, but I want to make sure that I'm just getting it through to you guys that, right now, it just, the way the markets are looking, it to me looks like we could see more pain, right? Was that 49,000 the bottom? Was it? I hope it was, but don't be surprised if we come back down to those areas and retest, because if you think about it, we broke down to that 49. We didn't even really hit a spot for some a solid spot of support, a normal support. We just broke down to a certain area and bounced. We have honestly other areas that we probably need to come back and retest that are below there, like this 49, this 47.9, this 45, right? We have some big areas that we could potentially break down to and still be very bullish. Because like we pointed out plenty of times in this channel, when you go back to 2021, there was epic drops during the bull run, right? There was epic drops, and it felt like what we're going through right now, where it's just we were through a period where it was like people were getting bored or they were just getting emotionally wrecked, right? Where they couldn't take the ups and downs, right? Where emotions were taking over, where we would see these drops and then we'd start to climb and oh, we're going back up. Yes. And we'd only make it a little bit and then we'd see a farther drop, and these people are like, I can't take it. They end up just selling off. But after a few weeks, after a few months, depending on what drop we're pointing at, we definitely ran back up and we made all-time highs after those drops. So I don't want you guys to think that long-term I'm bullish. Short-term, I just feel like we still have some areas that we probably need to come down as a market. Long-term, I think we still, and I say long-term as in, the next few months, the end of this year, the beginning of 2025, I still do believe we have more highs to hit. Remember we were talking about this not too long ago where somebody was in the chat saying, Crip, do you think that we have just one more big leg up? And I was like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm really thinking that we probably have one more solid leg up where we are running. We make all-time highs for Bitcoin. Wherever it ends up, alts have another run. They go crazy. We see another season where DeFi comes through and there's just a massive volume influx in DeFi. And then eventually that's it. Now, this could run for a few months. It could run for a month. It could run for a few weeks. We don't know the time frame on how long that bull run would be or how long it's going to take till we get there. But I do feel like we still have one more trick in this bag for this bull run. So keep your heads up, guys. We're going to be fine. We're going to be good. This is all part of, crypto. And trust me, not everyone's built for this stuff, right? Not everyone's built for this stuff, but if you play smart, you have patience, it'll play out for you. I'm telling you, don't sell at a loss. I know it's hard, especially if we're going to continue to see more downward movement, you know, I could be bearish right now, and then tomorrow the freaking market is absolutely ripping again, and I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on anymore, right? I'm just here telling you guys numbers. I don't know what's going on, right? So we'll see how that plays out. Looking at the crypto bubbles for today. Looking at the bubbles for today, you guys can see most of the red, but look what's in green today. Look what, oh, Ton. Ton's up in the green. Let's pull up Ton's coin real quick because we've been covering that recently, obviously, with the whole Telegram and everything that's going on. And we're going to cover Milady as well because I know I put Milady back on the thumbnail. Did you guys notice that? I brought Milady back on the thumbnail. We're going to start bringing back in all the Milady crowd and all that stuff. We're bringing back the channel on how we talk about meme coins, especially our beloved Milady. And I am going to be buying a bag because I can't be the Milady god of YouTube and not freaking have a solid bag of some Milady, right? So looking at Ton's up for the day, 4%, but this bad boy ain't doing too good. He's still made a double bottom, you know, but still not looking the best, below its 200-day moving average for sure. So, I mean, I still do think long term, this might be a solid play, right? Dollar cost averaging in on Ton, because you guys know I'm pretty bullish on Ton as far as its ecosystem. It's everything that it's built on its ecosystem. Its DeFi, I think, is going to do really well. It already is, but I think it's going to be one of the bigger DeFis, you know, with like Solana, Arbitrum, Base, Ethereum, obviously, you know, and maybe a few other. I think that Ton's going to be one of those top ecosystems. So it pretty much already is, you know, but we already check with DeFi and the volume. It's lagging right now. It is lagging right now. So real quick, while we do have it up, you can see NFK is still doing solid from this drop that we've had in the last week. You can see that we are still up. Well, let me adjust it. We are up for the week. We're up about 129.5%. So not looking bad. And I say for the week, it's technically actually for the last 3 weeks. We were up about 129%. So not bad at all. Obviously, given where the market is sitting right now, we're holding steady. I think we all know what we have, where we're headed. We just need Solana in the regular market to really get back up together. And we're going to see no FUD koala NFK just run straight to the moon. So everything's looking great right now. Liquidity looks great. Market cap sitting beautifully right now, where we're at that point where, you know, once this money starts coming in, and not much money it's going to take for us to really take off. So we'll see how that plays out. Solana right now, for the volume at 1.1 billion, Ethereum 1.1 billion, Binance 1.8 billion, Base 530 million, Arbitrum same as Base at 580, and then we have Tron. Where is Ton's all the way down here, guys? Holy crap. Ton's at 32 million. That's crazy. That is the one thing that I did say that you want to see for Ton, right? And if you like, same thing for Ton. Sui is another one that's a crazy you know, project that, you know, is just building up in the back end. Cronos, we all love Cronos, right? DeFi, we need these projects particularly need to see more growth in regards to more people building on their ecosystem. They need to have more volume. When Solana first was out, you know, not a lot of people were building on Solana. It was in the shadows, and then out of nowhere, Solana just was like telling, you know, showing everybody to build on them. And you saw just massive meme coins, as we still see to this day, just hundreds and hundreds of meme coins being built on the ecosystem. A lot of them actually making it to mainstream, like Dog with Hat, BONK, Myro, Win. I'm sure there's a few other ones that I didn't mention, but a lot of big meme coins have started off on Solana. That's what's brought Solana so much hype, so much money, so much volume, and that what's keeping that project afloat, right? We need to see that for Ton, right? Same thing for like Avalanche. Same thing. You know, you have a lot of these big, decent ecosystems that don't do very well as far as volume right now, you know, in regards to like comparing to the big shots like Solana, Ethereum, Binance, and I guess you can say Base, right? Base is a layer 2 on Ethereum. From what I'm hearing, a lot of people with Base is they're saying that Base is basically holding Ethereum afloat right now, which is crazy because Base right now is like the big layer 2 project to really build on. Obviously Arbitrum as well, right? You guys know I'm pretty bullish on Arbitrum. So But DeFi, right now it's slow. It's gone back to being very slow, given what's going on in the traditional market. So right now, when we pull up the fear and greed index for right now, you guys can see it is still sitting at 54 neutral. Did come down a tick or two from yesterday. Yesterday we were at around 56. I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if we have another day like we are seeing today with the market with Bitcoin. This thing is probably going to drop considerably, coming back down into fear or getting close to fear, right? So I think a lot of people are still sitting on the sidelines and kind of just like, what in the F is going on right now with the markets? Looking at the actual stock markets, it's crazy. Like right now, the S&P is up, Nasdaq's up, Dow Jones is up, VIX is down. Which obviously, if the rest of the market's up, VIX is going to be down. And then you have the DXY that's down. DXY. Let's pull the DXY up. We pulled this up not too long ago. You can see DXY has nosedived. Right? Historically speaking, when you have the DXY down, risk assets like Bitcoin usually tend to do the opposite. It's an inverse, which normally they're going up. Right now, we're not seeing that, which is telling me that most likely we're seeing some kind of manipulation going on in the crypto space particularly. So if that is the case, guys, right, and we're getting and Bitcoin's just, the price is getting manipulated right now, this usually doesn't last long. It doesn't last long. So let me pull up Ordies real quick while I have you guys on here, because if Ordies is down to a buy zone, no, it's not. Gina, what's going on? Troy said, where the hell is everybody? You tell me, Troy. Shit gets bad, everybody's like, I'm out. I don't want to talk crypto. But I told you guys, I don't care. Through the thick and through the thin, we're going to be here, right? We're going to be here. We're going to be covering the markets, because you know what? We're going to see the sun shine again, and we're going to be running, and we're all going to be here, and I have to act like, oh, hey, when all these people pop back up and be like, hey, what's up, man? Knowing that they weren't here while we were down like crazy. JoJo's in the house. What's going on? What is going on, guys? So let's jump into some stories. Let's give you guys some hopium. Let's see here. So first thing that I saw was that Robinhood wallets add support for Solana. This is pretty cool. So you guys know that Robinhood does have DeFi wallets and stuff like that. So they're actually expanding the platform for Solana if they haven't already, right? I say if they haven't already because I don't use Solana. I don't use Robinhood at all, right? So they could already have Solana already. I'm pretty sure you can buy Solana, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know in regards to their DeFi wallets or anything like that, what they support. But let's cover it. So Robinhood has officially added support for Solana to its wallets. There we go, expanding the platform's crypto offering. Let's see here. Joanne, the general manager of Robinhood Crypto, announced this integration, which will enable users to self-custody Solana and conduct transactions over Solana blockchain. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope, guys. Right now, we're not going to see a significant move in regards to Solana, Solana going crazy because of this, with Robinhood. But believe it or not, a lot of people that get jump in on crypto for their first time, they usually will stumble across with like Webull or Robinhood, right? Because usually they're looking at stocks and then they'll see the little crypto down. And they're like, oh, I can trade crypto, right? People don't, still even to this day in 2024, people don't think of like downloading Coinbase or crypto.com. They don't, that's like level 2 tier of crypto exchange, crypto traders, right? Your level 1, your beginners, they stumble across crypto, right? Through Robinhood, like I said, through Webull, through any of these platforms that still trade stocks, but also let you trade a very few amount of crypto, right? And usually with Robinhood, it's like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, I believe Shiba. They've moved up a little bit. There's like a few Bitcoin Cash. They did have a lot more, and then they ended up taking them off. I don't know if they've added more on there, but it looks like they definitely have Solana now, and especially on their DeFi wallets, which is pretty cool. So this move aligns with Robinhood's broader strategy to enhance its Web3 wallet by incorporating more blockchain and digital assets. following the previous integrations of networks like Ethereum, Polygon, and Bitcoin. Excuse me. So earlier this year, Robinhood demonstrated a growing interest in the cryptocurrency space. Notably, it had acquired crypto exchange Bitstamp. Robinhood started using its newly acquired Bitstamp licensing to offer crypto futures in the US and Europe. The company plans to introduce Bitcoin and Ethereum futures trading in the US, though an official launch date has yet to be set as discussions are ongoing. This move followed Robinhood's acquisitions of Pluto Capital in July, which further improved its crypto offerings and attracted retail crypto clients. Additionally, the addition of Solana will allow Robinhood Wallet's users to manage their Solana holding more effectively, including the ability to send, receive, and store Solana securely. I wonder if it's still going to be free, I would imagine, right? Free. You know they make their money. Well, that's pretty cool. You know what? We'll take it, right? Obviously, we're all bullish on Solana. So if any kind of integration for any of these platforms to bring on any kind of crypto, but especially something like Solana, it's fantastic, right? It's fantastic. Like I told you guys, normally I'll be honest. I've told this story plenty of times. Back in 2020, when I first was introduced to crypto, I started off on Robinhood, right? I started off on Robinhood buying freaking Dogecoin at like 2 cents. That was my entry. Where was your entry? What was the first thing that you guys bought on crypto, and what wallet or what exchange did you use, right? I should put a poll up, but you guys can tell me because we don't have an enormous crowd here today. Mine was Robinhood, and that's why I say that them adding Solana and supporting Solana and giving potential new users the ability to trade Solana and possibly DeFi is nothing. It's going to be nothing but a plus. Oh, Gina said Robinhood you can buy ETFs. Yeah, exactly, because they trade in stocks, right, through the stock market. Rodney's in the house. What's going on, Jay? Troy said, I heard that BlackRock was trying to get an ETF for Solana. Is that true? So, Troy, it is true, but I heard, we don't have any clarification yet, but I heard it was already rejected from what I heard. That's all speculation right now until we can get some actual, evidence of that. But from what I heard it was rejected for now, so. Look at this article, too. I thought this was pretty cool, speaking of ETFs. So, Bitcoin millionaires soared by 111% to 85,400 in 2024, thanks to crypto's ETFs. So, what this is basically saying is that 85,400 people, this is across the globe, has become millionaires solely through Bitcoin. Isn't this that's absolutely insane? Isn't that crazy? When I say that crypto changed my life, I don't know about you guys, but crypto has changed a lot of people's lives in the world, right? Whether it's for the good or for the bad, hopefully for the better, right? Hopefully for the better. But this right here should give you hopium that maybe even if you don't get rich off of Bitcoin, it's definitely obtainable through crypto, right? Through crypto. And you have to remember too, a lot of these people that became millionaires on Bitcoin, they were buying in on Bitcoin when you were scared to buy Bitcoin, right? Or maybe you didn't even know about Bitcoin. They were doing it when I didn't know about having Bitcoin, right? They were buying in when no one really knew about Bitcoin, and they were just obtaining Bitcoin, particularly for cheap, right? But it wasn't usually, for most of the people, it wasn't an overnight thing. They had to hold on for a very long time until they saw, or until the Bitcoin's prices got to a certain point to where particular people were able to sell for whatever for them to become millionaires, right? We see wallets all the time on some of these stories where they're like, this wallet just came to life. It hasn't moved since 2013, right? Some of these people, whoever they are, bought in a long time ago, and they've literally just let these wallets sit, right? And maybe you'll see here and there periodically them selling off, finally cashing out. And this is what I'm telling you guys, is that I don't know how long you've been in crypto for, right? But if it's been for the last year and you're like, man, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. is that you're expecting to be rich overnight, right? And it doesn't normally work like that. Take all those stories out where you hear these people get filthy rich, they buy in on a DeFi project, and they freaking, they become a millionaire overnight. It happens. That's the fun. That's the lottery kind of aspect, the gambling aspect of crypto. But for the majority of us, or the majority of people that do really well in crypto, it's usually getting in at a good position, right? And being able to have patience and waiting for that time, right? And not selling when you see us going through times that we're going through right now when Bitcoin's taking a crap, right? So let's jump right into this, guys. And real quick, guys, everybody that just jumped in, make sure you guys are slapping those likes. I'm happy you guys are here. Listen, we're here together. We're going to make it through here. We're going to be fine, guys. I promise. So there are 85,400 crypto millionaires worldwide, which is a 111% increase from the past year. A new report reveals. International wealth and investment migration specialists from Hanley and Partners have compiled a crypto wealth report 2024, highlighting how Bitcoin rally over the past year has created more crypto millionaires. Let's see here. Dominic Volek from Hanley and Partners attributes the incredible surge to the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs approved in January. He said that long-awaited approval for spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs unleashed a torrent of institutional capital. Anticipation now builds for potential Solana ETFs joining the Wall Street party. These milestones have seeded a new era of crypto adoption, one where digital assets increasingly cross-pollinate. Did I say that right? Cross-pollinate with traditional finance and global mobility. Real quick, though, I want to just throw this out here, guys. So you know how we have our own project, right? No FUD Koala. It's a native token on the channel, right? Right now, we're doing great. Imagine when Solana's ETF finally gets approved. I'm not saying it's going to be anytime soon, but just imagine if it's going to be in like 2025. Bro, imagine that. If the market's running too, oh man, so much money is going to run into to DeFi. A project like ours that's like sitting around $100,000 market cap, bro, has so much potential to freaking take off, where those initial gains that we saw when the project first started, this first like few months, is going to be minute compared to what we could possibly see in the DeFi space coming up if and when Solana's ETFs actually get approved. And just like the story that we just saw, right? Robinhood adding support for Solana, right? Solana's ETFs get dropped. I mean, this is why we picked Solana as far as an ecosystem. I could have built the project on Base, which I was considering. I could have built the project on Cronos, which you guys know I love Cronos, right? But I didn't go to those. Not saying that they're bad ecosystems. I purposely picked Solana because I know long-term Solana is probably going to be one of, if not the biggest ecosystem in regards to per volume coming in. Right now, some days it is, some days it's not. I think in the long run, it's going to be number one for a long shot. And this isn't shots towards Binance or Ethereum or anything like that. I'm just saying Solana, we know, is absolutely, going to be the number one ecosystem, in my opinion, right? So surge in crypto, what is this? Centi millionaires. Further reports said this year that there has been a 95% increase in individuals holding over 1 million in cryptos. Around 172,300 individuals globally are crypto millionaires. Additionally, a surge is also observed in crypto centi millionaires. It's just throwing me off. That hold assets of $100 million or more this year. Damn. That hold assets of 100 million and more this year. The report notes an increase in crypto cent. They're gonna keep saying this over and over because they know I'm like struggling here. Centi millionaires reaching 325 globally. Besides, the total market value of cryptos saw an increase of 2.3 trillion, 89% more compared to last year's 1.2 trillion. However, crypto billionaire growth was much lower last year and mainly driven by Bitcoin, says Andrew, the head of the research of the New World Health wealth. Let's see here. Let me just check the chat real quick. So Gina said I bought Shiba through DeFi through Ethereum. All right. Jay said Bitcoin's back to 58,000. It is. It's back up to 59 now. It did a little bit of a bounce, but yeah, it dropped right when we started streaming. This bad boy dropped down to 59,000. I'm sorry, 58. I mean, the beginning of the stream, I told you guys. I mean, a drop like this and what we've been seeing for the last few days is usually an indication that Bitcoin wants to have a few days, if not the next like week or two, where it's going to see some downward movement. Could be completely wrong. We could see tomorrow where it bounced. That could have been already the bounce that we saw. I can zoom in a little bit and we can see at least a little bit of some green candles. Let's jump in on the 5 minute. You can see obviously this thing came down, almost hit our support level at around 57.9. This thing dropped down to about 58,100. So we'll see how this goes. It's going to come back up obviously and have some resistance at 59.5, 59.6 area, and we'll see how this plays out. But like I said at the beginning of the stream, we're going to see how this Asia market, they're going to be waking up in the next few hours. Let's see how they're going to be playing with this. They might wake up and be like, holy shit, and start selling off. Right? So we'll see how this plays off. Gina said, don't forget NFK. Don't forget to buy NFK on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. As a community, we have, it doesn't matter if it's $1. We've been orchestrating buy Wednesday NFKs. So that's our project, No FUD Koala. Tomorrow, we'll obviously talk about it. We'll remind everybody in the Discord. It doesn't matter if it's a freaking $1. Tomorrow, we're all buying, just adding to our bags for NFK, right? Just pushing across everything that's going on. Just keep adding. We'll let everything play itself out because in the long run, like I said, Solana is going to do great, right? Whether it's tomorrow or if it's in 6 months from now, it's going to do great. And obviously, we're built on Solana. We're going to keep following the track. So back in the game, what's going on, bro? Let's see here. So he said, when the world seems to be falling apart is when the best of the times are right around the corner. My boy's coming in here with those facts. All right. He said, keep your heads high. Nicho said, crypto has definitely changed my life for the worse. Oh, man. I was like, I read the first part. I was going to be like, hell yeah, Nicho. And then he said, for the worse. Bro, listen, not financial advice or anything like that, brother. But listen, if you're in the red, you shouldn't be investing money, obviously. And this isn't financial advice, is my opinion. You shouldn't be investing money that you're going to need tomorrow or anytime soon, right? Because crap like this happens, right? Where you're going to have days where you're in the green and you're going to have days where you're in the red, right? But if you have patience and you hold out for the long term, me personally, it has always played out fantastic, right? But I'm telling you, there was plenty of times in between, that buying in process and holding. And then when I finally go to sell in the middle part, there was a lot of pain, right? There was times where I was like, man, this is insane, especially going through the last bear market. Tell you, if you didn't go through the last bear market, you don't know what the hell pain is yet, bro. So you'll be all right, man. Back in the game said he's doing well. Hell yeah, bro. I'm doing good too, man. I'm happy that you're here. Man. Make sure you guys slap those likes. We're not doing too bad today. So yeah, so at least we're seeing it can be done right here, right? It can be done. 2024 has brought in almost 90,000 new millionaires, right, in the crypto space. And this is just saying for Bitcoin, guys. If they can actually tally up what's happened just in this last year and just crypto it's alone, imagine how many people went from $1,000 to $100K, right? Imagine how many people went from 10 grand to $250,000, right? A lot. It can happen. It's all about positioning yourself and patience. Those are the two things that I can just say for a fact that has always worked for myself. Holy crap. I'm seeing what Nicho's saying here. So He said, I'm down 50, like I'm down like 50K over the last 4 months. Been dollar cost averaging since 2021. Feels like it's never ending pain. I hear you, brother. Since 2000, so you were basically, did you buy in at the top during 2021 is what I would assume. And then you went through the bear market, which was probably absolutely hell because I was right there with you. And then now we're, 2024. I'm sure at some point this year, probably around March when Bitcoin was hitting all-time highs, you had to have been in the green, bro. Right? You had to have been in the green. That's why one thing, too, I was telling everybody, this was a few months ago when Bitcoin really was topping out for recently, right? That was a local top. Obviously, for Bitcoin, that was an all-time high. But a lot of our alts were either making all-time highs or, making local highs, right? If you look at some of these particular projects, I was telling you guys, look, I'm selling off right now, and I'm going to jump right back in. I did this for Milady particularly, right? And I told you guys even right now, she's looking kind of juicy right now to get back in. But I told everybody, we finally had jumped up. I missed this run, but I didn't miss this one, and I ended up selling off and doing well. And now I have the pleasures of buying back in on some of these projects. Now I am in on other projects, right? That I just recently bought when we took that really big dip on the 4th of this month, right? But for the most part, everything else, it's like I tell you guys, it's all about positioning and also not letting the greed take over. If you're doing well and you're in a project and it's up fairly well, you really need to focus on when you're going to be taking profits. Just letting it sit there, right, and just hoping for the best, you're going to be riding that thing up and down, no diddy, right? And I tell you guys the story all the time. What I've done a few times when I first started trading was the worst feeling when you get in on a great position, right? And that project starts running and you're up like crazy and you don't sell, right? And now it's dropping like crazy. And by the time you sell, you're either breaking even or you made a little bit of money, right? And you feel like you've been robbed or you're just holding on, waiting for another run that hasn't come yet, right? Learned my lesson on all that. So that's why I try to get the greed out. A lot of times I will sell early. But I sleep good at night knowing that I'm still making profits and I have liquidity now to jump right back in whenever the time comes again, right? So it's all about, just what works best for you. But I notice whenever I talk to people and they're like, man, I'm down like crazy, when I really investigate, like their whole strategy or what they're doing, I usually figure out that they at some point were up, right? But they didn't sell, and now they're back down. And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, I understand that you probably, you couldn't time the market and it's a lot easier looking back, and be like, well, you should have sold right there. It's a lot easier to do that, right? But when I'm talking to these people and I'm like, bro, how much were you up? Well, I was up, 10x. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, bro, and you didn't sell? I was up 3 or 4x. All right, you didn't sell? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you wanted that $500 to give you $1 million, right? And you were so set in your head, that $500 because that's what they told you. You put $500 in, and you're gonna become a millionaire. Well, it doesn't happen usually over one play. It's gonna happen over a spread of good decisions and good plays. And I've used this analogy plenty of times. You can make 10 plays and 7 of them don't work, right? But as long as those 3 outweigh your bad and you're up, keep moving, keep running, right? You're really waiting for that one play that you jump in on and you get that 100x. It will happen eventually. It will eventually happen, but it's just all about positioning yourself, taking risk. Obviously this is all, this isn't just where I am conservative on a lot of my trades, but it's there is times where I have to break out of my shell, and buy in on risky assets. I don't go crazy, right? But I will, jump in on risky assets, aka meme coins with very small market caps, and just let it go. See how it goes, Gina said, will you please check dog? Gina, you know I'm going to look up dog. There's going to be 70 different dog projects, but I'll pull it up right now. Nicho said, you are right. I bought in at the tops in 2021, not really knowing what I was doing and unfamiliar with the market cycles. I hear you, bro. One thing I'll say, bro, in that situation is obviously I have to say this, not financial advice, right? My opinion is when you know, obviously it sounds like you've been holding that long, so you have time, right? Whenever you're in the green, bro, get your bag back and reposition yourself, right? It might take time. Don't FOMO in. Don't go chasing shit. But have patience. Get your money back. Hopefully you get profits as well. Get your money back and reposition yourself. Just like you just said, you know, you didn't know the cycles and stuff like that. Well, I'm sure you're familiar with them now. So if you get that opportunity to get back in the green, or at least break even, get your money back, bro, and wait for them cycles to where you know it's a good time to jump in and reposition yourself. Hernandez said, NFK update, please. Yep, I'll bring that up right now. We were just covering it, but I'll bring it right back up. Hold on. Gina says she wants to look up dog. All right, Gina. Check dog. How are we gonna find dog? There's like I said, look how many freaking dogs there are. You got to give me a little bit more info than that. Oh, it's on Ton. All right. It's a little bit easier because I know there's not massive stuff on Ton. Let's see here. Dog on Ton. Did I pass it? Dog on Ton. Hold on. I have to like, okay, Ton's like the diamond. I don't think I see any dog on Ton. Excuse me. I'm literally going to put dog on Ton. Let's see if it pops up. There it is. I didn't know you could do that, like dog on Ton. I'm glad they have that, but now the question is, oh yeah, this is, wait, Ton. There's two of them. We'll just grab this one, I guess. Gina, are you trading on Ton? What the hell kind of chart is this? Bro, look at this wick. Look at this freaking wick for this project, whether this is a project you speak of or not. Look at this wick. Holy crap. This thing, it's at like a fraction of a penny, but it jumped up briefly to $1.11. Isn't that crazy? Back in the game said, just remember the sun will shine another day. Never give up. My boy's coming here with those facts, right? Like he's got all those he's like here to pick you guys up. You know what I'm saying? I like it. I like the vibes. I like the vibes. I don't know, but I lost the chart. There it is. What is this, Gina? It's on not yet. Hope I said this correctly. Is it Bandez? I sold some of my Milady bags for Hoppy. The hype right now is around Hoppy, and hype drives this market 100%. Ladies currently has no hype around it, so it will be a slow grind. You know what, Bandez? Bandez? I agree with you, bro. I don't know about Hoppy, particularly Gina. Is this the right project? Is the project you speak of, is that $600 million market cap? Let me know. I want to pull up this Hoppy real quick, but we'll come back to that. And I know you guys want to look up NFK too. We'll bring that up. Nicho said, I appreciate the not financial advice. Hell yeah. Oh, so that was the project. Okay. So one thing I will agree is Bendis said that, you know, hype drives the market, right? And I was saying this literally yesterday. You know, usually people think hype drives, you know, and it does. It drives, you know, any project, right? But usually it's two different things, right? You have projects that have fundamentals, right, that get hype. And you have projects that are strictly like meme coins that run off of solely hype, right? And I agree with them about the hype part, and I agree with them about Milady right now. There's not a lot of hype behind Milady. There's not. I'll agree with that 100%, but it doesn't mean that it's over with or that it's not going to come back, right? I just think that right now, if you think about it, there's not a lot of hype behind a lot of meme coins right now. You go back and you think about Dog with Hat. Imagine all the hype, or you saw all the hype. PEPE, you saw the hype. Remember Cock and You? You saw all the hype, right? We could go down the list of all these projects that at some point were going freaking crazy, right? Remember the Shiba hype. Remember the Dogecoin hype where it all began, right? So I agree with you 100%. But what I will say is just because right now the project seems like it's dormant does not mean that anything is done with whatsoever. And a lot of times when people write a lot of these meme coins particularly off is when they'll freaking go crazy and they shoot up, right? So I agree with you 100%. Now, Hoppy, you could see we had a fib retracement that had to update. We haven't looked at this project in some time. I mean, you're saying that all the hype is on this project. I don't know if I would agree with that particularly, right? But I mean, to each is their own, right? To each is their own as far as Hoppy and stuff like that. So, I mean, doesn't look bad. Had a nice run. Market cap's at 26.4 million. Liquidity is locked in at 1.2 million. So, not looking bad at all. You can see that it is running up, or it ran up, hit its head at the 618. Got rejected, right? So, next spot for some support, obviously, is going to be the 786 at around this 44 level right here. Going to need that support, and it's going to probably need to come retest the 618 a few times at that 80 mark for it to break through. But I mean, doesn't look terrible, you know. I mean, it doesn't stand out like, oh my God, this project is just running. It's there, you know. Look at this. Our project, No FUD Koala. Look at this red candle that just formed, right? You would think we just saw this massive sell-off. It's down 8% now. You would have thought that there's massive sell-off, but look, there was a small little buy-in and the project came down. Why is that? I keep explaining to you guys, this isn't a bad thing. Unfortunately, for right now, our project particularly is 100% liquidity, market cap, everything is all in Solana, right? Solana just came down massively, I would imagine, with Bitcoin. Where's Solana at? 147. Look at Solana. So whoever just bought in, I know they didn't mean to, right? But they bought in when Solana was down like crazy, and we saw this massive drop. Now, vice versa. Think of this. If Solana just ran up in the next 5 minutes and it's at $167, just throw it out, 167, someone could put in our project $1, and this thing would be running, it would go up probably 15% because it's all based on Solana, right? It's all based on Solana. So I'm actually happy that we brought that up just to point that out. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is for right now. Our project is going to be moving in sync with Solana. It's just how it's going to happen. So as Solana comes down, if it continues, we'll see probably most likely our project coming down, which won't be a bad thing. We'll be fine because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that we're losing any value as far as in Solana, particularly, right? We have the same amount of Solana that's in our liquidity, that's in our market cap. But unfortunately, the price of Solana is coming down. So that means the value is coming down as well. And it'll be vice versa. When we start coming back up, when Solana starts coming back up, you'll see NFK moving up as well. So it is what it is. But we're not doing bad at all. We're at that $70,000 mark. That 8% drop just kind of kills me right now. But it is what it is. That's crazy how fast Solana dropped down and what it's done to NFK. But we'll take it because we know when it gets good, we'll be good. So Solana actually dropped down to 145 before bouncing at this, what are we at, the 2 hour right here, this 200-day moving average. It has found some support. So let's see here. Donald's in the house. What's going on, bro? Back in the game, said, I truly believe things start to turn around in November. What's your thoughts? People say November. Some people have been in here for the last few weeks saying October, Pumptober. We'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, we have the election coming up, and I was, if you would have asked me on Sunday or Saturday, we were pumping. The markets were running right back up. We had just went back up to like 65, I believe it was, for Bitcoin. Right? Is that where we were at? It's hard to believe sitting here looking at 58,000. Yeah, we went up to 65,000. Bro, look at this drop in the last 2 days. This is a massive drop. If someone would have opened up a short right here, they're doing great right now. But it's if you would have asked me Saturday or Sunday, I was gonna say, you know what? I think that we're gonna continue to move up, coming up until this election, and then I think we're gonna see turmoil around the election, depending on who makes it in office. Remember, we're not gonna get political. Who cares? But whoever gets in office is going to kind of maybe dictate that initial, how Bitcoin or the stock markets as well are going to do. But I said after the election, we're probably going to, brush everything off and then kind of do what we naturally we're going to do, right? I don't know what's going on right now with Bitcoin. Like I told you guys, I honestly think this is price manipulation, given that you're looking at the stock market, the dollar is down, right? The stock market's up. You have, some stocks are not doing good today, like Tesla's down. But like I said, for the majority, we're looking at the stock market and it looks great. But crypto is down. Bitcoin is down $3,760 for today, down almost 6%. Why? What's going on? Obviously, there's a lot of sell-offs going on right now. And all I can think of is price manipulation for right now. That's the only thing I can think of. So, but he asked me, what do I think in regards to us, when the markets really are going to pick back up? I've been saying towards the end of this year, and I really hope that I can stick to it. I really hope that I can stick to it and think towards the end of this year, the beginning of 2025 is most likely when we're going to see this last real big leg up in the market, is what I'm thinking. Hopefully, we're true, and that wasn't, the only high that we're going to see in Bitcoin was in March, because that would be, in history, probably the worst bull market that we've ever seen. So I don't believe that that's what it is right now, but we'll see how it goes. Gina said that bull flag did not work out. It did not, Gina. Remember, we dropped it in the Discord. This is what I was saying. Comes on Saturday, Sunday, we dropped in the Discord. I was like, yo, this bull flag's playing out, and Bitcoin was running. Right? And then the following day is when we came back into the channel. I was like, well, you know what? It's okay. We're in the channel. We'll find that support somewhere around that 63.4 area. And we came, and you can see that we technically did bounce around that area at the 200-day, at the 63.4 right there. And then boom, we dropped to shit. And we continue to drop. So it is what it is. Hopefully in the next few days we can kind of see what's going on, because right now you can't even say that this is like outflows for ETFs right now, because the markets are closed, right? This is after hours trading, big money, flowing out of Bitcoin in the market right now. Let's look at, so the volume right now is up 15. Let me update this real quick too. Okay, volume's up about 13.3% for the whole market. The market cap has come down. Look at this, down 6%. We're right at that 2 trillion mark. Bitcoin dominance is at 56.2 right now. So let's pull pull this up real quick. So this is the market cap, and you can see definitely an upward move on the market cap. This is the market cap chart. But man, you can see after we made these highs in March, we have steadily been just coming down, making lower highs. And that's what you can see what the charts reflect on Bitcoin. This is what I was starting the whole stream on, is that Bitcoin has been making lower highs since we made that all-time high. This was pre-ETF, right? This was pre-halving when the ETFs dropped. So Gina said, it's our government. You never know. They do have a big bag of crypto. And I say crypto, I mean they have a big bag of Bitcoin. So who knows? I'm intrigued to maybe add, or not add, but jump in on some Milady. I'm feeling spontaneous, guys. Where's she at right now? $58 million market cap. Looking freaking, look at that. Small market cap. This right here is a hidden gem. I'm telling you guys. What's Myro looking like right now? 65 million. Not too bad. What about Win? Gina has asked about Win. 66 million. Look at those three little hidden gems right there. Those are all small market caps. ALI, 61 million. What's Ordi at now? 600 million. Ordi's about to get down to those levels. Remember, Gina, for Ordi. Where's Art at? Art's not in here today. My boy couldn't handle the charts today. He's like, I can't. He's like, I can't do it today. Some people just don't have it. They're like, I don't want to deal with it. I'm not saying that you are, but I'm just saying some people. So my buy zone for ordinals. This is obviously, you guys know I've been covering this like crazy. This is I've been accumulating like crazy on this project. This is one of the first BR20 coins that are on the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? Just like you have Ethereum, and all those other ecosystems. This is a BR20 Bitcoin ecosystem, or a coin that's on Bitcoin's ecosystem that's bringing a lot of really cool things to the market as far as bringing in like DeFi and NFTs and stuff like that for Bitcoin. People don't realize that Bitcoin is an ecosystem that definitely is up and running, obviously, but not just Bitcoin is traded on that ecosystem. And that's why I love ordinals. Small market cap, one of very few, right? And I think that when this thing runs with Bitcoin, obviously, but when Bitcoin really does make these crazy highs that everybody's talking about, a project like ordinals that has such a small market cap compared to what it is, right? $600 million market cap has circulating supply the exact same amount that what Bitcoin has, 21 million, and it's all in circulation. So the max supply is all in total supply is all in circulating supply. So there's never going to be any more added into the circulating supply. This project right here, if you haven't ever do some research on it, I think this project's going to do very, very well when when Bitcoin's doing very well. So just my opinion. Gina said she's impressed with the supply. Bro, 21 million, right? And not only 21 million, but what I love is that it's all totally out, right? So there's full whatever you have in circulating supply is the max supply. There's never going to be anything added, and that's the same thing that is with Bitcoin, right? Obviously, Bitcoin, there's still some that are not in circulation because it needs to be mined, right? So it's but it has the same amount of when Bitcoin's fully. Every Bitcoin has been mined in 2,100. It's going to have the same exact circulating supply as what ordinals has. So, back in the game said the government should give that Bitcoin to people of this great country. I don't know, bro. I'm not real big on like handouts particularly, and I don't think that's what you're assuming. I understand that form of giving out could be, building something or, something like that. I just think that and this goes for all the governments. They always end up seizing Bitcoin, right, from these bad players. We saw that from the German government where they seized $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? And what do? They freaking immediately sell off for cash, right? That right there just tells you, like, these people, it's like they just look at it as dollar signs. They look at it as dollar signs, and they quickly move it over to cash so that it's theirs now. You know, it's not just Bitcoin that they had obtained from, from hacks or whatever the case is. They obtained it. Now they converted it over to their currency or over to dollars, whatever the hell they converted it over. And now it's theirs to do whatever the hell they want. You know, something like with the Bitcoin that they seized from that Silk Road. We heard Donald Trump talking about this. Remember, we're not going to get political, but we heard him basically he was initially saying that he would love to see that right there be the start of some kind of a reserve, backing the dollar. And what would be better to start off was with $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin that they basically got for free, but instead they're selling off, they're selling off. And it's a little bit odd that they're selling off right before the elections, right before possible they're going to be handing the crown over to another person getting into office. It's a little bit odd, in my opinion, right? So Back in the Game said it's not their money, so it's not a handout. No, I meant like, I don't mean like that. I meant like handouts, like just go out and nilly-willy just like giving it out to everybody. Like, here, we just took all this money here, just hand it. I don't think that will benefit anybody in the long run, but I understand what you mean, right? Like them doing something for, for the country particularly, with those funds. Are you asking me, do I think they're selling off or manipulating the market? Yeah, I do. I really do. I do think that. I think that they're doing two things. I think that they don't want, just in case if the elections don't go their way, I think that they are gonna probably drain that account with the Silk Road. We already confirmed that they this was like 3 weeks ago that they already transferred $2 billion into two different accounts. One of them being a central exchange, right? So and this was literally the week after the crypto the Bitcoin conference where the guy Trump spoke about wanting to use that seized money into starting a back in the dollar as a reserve. A week later, that money has been sitting there for the last few years, and a week later they started transferring Bitcoin around, that Bitcoin particularly. So I don't care who you're voting for. I'm not getting political whatsoever. I'm just saying, regardless of whoever was in power and whoever said it, I think it's a little bit odd, right? I think it's a little bit odd. So Back in the Game said we're on the same page. Good. I'm glad. You know what? Even if we weren't on the same page, bro, it don't matter, right? Because everybody's got their everybody has their own opinion. I missed someone's comment. I'm so sorry, bro. If you're still in here, is it Aki? I don't mean to mispronounce your name. Akichiwu? I hope I pronounced that correctly. But he says, as a beginner, when do we expect altcoin season if Bitcoin's down to 49K? So the rule of thumb for altcoin season, right? The rule of thumb for altcoin season is usually what we try to watch out for is Bitcoin's dominance, right? Bitcoin's dominance, historically speaking, would need to normally get down into the 40s, right? Right now, if you can see Bitcoin's dominance, if you can see up in this corner, I'm looking on my other screen to see if it's clear. It's at 56.5% right now. It's relatively high right now. Usually when you see Bitcoin's dominance high, it usually means the market is relatively scared and they're taking their money out of alts, the more riskier assets, and putting it into Bitcoin, into more of a secure asset, right? That's normally what that means. In order for us to get into altcoin season, we would need to see Bitcoin's dominance drop down, and I mean down to like 45%, somewhere down into those mid to lower 40% as per dominance for Bitcoin, right? Also, with that being said, our market cap would need to be at least staying around the same area or increasing when Bitcoin's dominance is dropping, right? So if you're seeing Bitcoin's dominance dropping, but you're also seeing the market cap drop, that doesn't mean that people are moving from Bitcoin over to altcoins, right? And that's essentially altcoin season, is when Bitcoin's at highs, right? Now people are they're taking their profits out of Bitcoin and they're looking to find those 10x, 20x's, those alts, right? That have very small market caps. That's when you see altcoin season start or go into effect. We haven't seen that. We started to see altcoins doing really well. Bitcoin's dominance was around 50%, wasn't far off. But then since in the last few months, we've seen Bitcoin's dominance continue to grow. And like today, Bitcoin's dominance being at 56.5, I don't remember it being this high for a while, right? It's at a pretty high stance. Ethereum's dominance has dropped like crazy. Ethereum's dominance a month ago was at 17%. It's at 14%. So people have even moved from Ethereum and moved over into to Bitcoin right now. Remember, Bitcoin's dominance, when we say 56.5%, that means that the market cap is at 2.1 trillion right now. That means that 56.5% of that 2.1 trillion is solely in Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin's dominance. It's dominating over the whole crypto space. 56% of that $2 trillion is all Bitcoin, right? And then 14% of that is in Ethereum. So I hope I explained that correctly. Gina said, I think it's because Trump, he said he was going to use Bitcoin. Yeah, no. I mean, remember, we're all speculating right now, right? But I mean, if that's the case and they started moving the funds like we're kind of speculating, yeah, I would agree. It's probably because he said something, and he's probably, after the fact, he's probably like, I probably shouldn't have said anything, because right after he said something, they started, moving assets around as far as that Bitcoin. So Gina, you notice Akikchuwu. I hope I'm saying your name properly. I'm so sorry if I'm not. Back in the game said it's Elizabeth Warren. Well, bro, she's probably back there. Someone's got the wallet, right? And she's like, just do it. And he's like, well, we got to wait. There's policies we have to go through to do this stuff. And Elizabeth's like, you understand I'm Indian? I will bow your ass. Move those assets right now. Sell off. Crash Bitcoin right now. Oh, man. The jokes are coming back, guys. The jokes are coming back. You know what? Back in the game, I don't know if you were here, but like a month ago, someone came in here and said, listen, bro, just stop with the jokes. They're corny. And I was like, damn, who peed in your Cheerios? But you know what I did? I cut down the jokes. I did. Cut them down. And you know what? They're coming back, guys. Damn it. We need jokes times like this, right? We can't smile during the bad times, and what the hell is it for? Oh, yeah. Gina said that's why he has not said anything about Bitcoin with Elon. Who knows? Elon does hold Bitcoin for sure. I'm sure they've spoke about it, I'm sure Trump was like, what do you think about this Bitcoin? Right? Elon's pro Bitcoin. Back in the game said, in times like this, we need something to laugh about. You're right. You are right. Well, it looks like hopefully Bitcoin might have been a little giga drop right here that we saw. Right? Because you can see a nice little V shape jumping up. So like I told you guys, next spot that we're going to have as that resistance when it's coming back up is going to be that 59.6. So this is going to be a spot that we've already actually, if you look, we've already come up and damn near hit it. Right? We've pretty much gotten close to it. We haven't necessarily, maybe my line's off by a tick because it looks like it did run up and it got rejected so far. So we'll see how this plays out. Like I said, I'm curious to see what the Asian market's going to bring us for tonight. in the next few hours, most likely, if they're going to continue the sell-off or if they're going to buy this dip and bring us right back to where we probably were, a few hours ago. So, but guys, listen, like we've said this in the chat, and I've said this over and over, guys, just just have patience, right? Have patience. Don't get psyched out of your bag because you guys know how it works, right? Someone's waiting for you to sell. They're watching your wallet, and right when you sell, the market's going to pump. Doesn't it always feel like that? Doesn't it feel like that? Seriously, it does. No, but seriously, just, obviously do the best thing that you need to do for yourself, but I would say don't get psyched out of your bag. If you ask me, do I think we're going to see more pain in the market? For right now, the way the markets look, I wouldn't be surprised if, we wake up tomorrow and we're possibly a little bit further down. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. Do I think that's what's going to happen? Who knows right now what the hell is going on? Because you know what? We pull up these charts, we pull up the fib retracements, we pull up these support levels, and Bitcoin doesn't want to acknowledge any of it because, like I said, if it is what we're thinking, market manipulation, it doesn't matter about support or any of that stuff right now. If there's big institutions or a big player out there that's basically purposely selling off right now, we won't know until it's done when the bottom is, right? But you better believe that Bitcoin's been through far worse, far worse, right? And it's always prevailed. Have patience. We're going to be fine, guys. And if we do see a massive dip on some of these projects, take advantage of it. My opinion, not financial advice. So you better believe I'm keeping an eye on ordinals. My buy order or my buy zone is somewhere around this 26. I say 26, but if it does drop below, I'd probably say somewhere around the 27 or below. I'm going to just start activating my buys again, and I'm going to continue to accumulate on ordinals and a few other projects like Milady. I also said that I am going to be taking advantage of as well. So those are going to be the things that I'm looking for. And also Myro, I'm either jumping in on Milady or Myro. Myro's getting a little, she's getting down there. She's getting down there. Fun times. I will tell you, honestly, fun times. I've been telling you guys for the last few weeks, one leg in, one leg out as how I've been doing it, where I am in the market, but I have more dry powder sitting on the side, more on the side than I do have in the market, right? So if the market rallies, I'm fine. I have good positions, but if we dump, I'm even better because now I can even add to my positions or open up new positions on other projects that I particularly haven't been able to accumulate yet. So with that being said, guys, keep your heads up. We're going to be fine. We'll be good. Make sure you guys, if you're new around here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Hit that like on the way out. I thank you guys so much for coming and spending some time with me tonight. I will be back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. I hope to see you guys here. All right, guys? Thank you again. Have a wonderful night.